Hey team, I am super excited about the call tonight. And why? Because we're going to learn a ton more about the Tower Garden, but more importantly, we're going to learn how to tell people about the Tower Garden so we can transform their lives so they're going to say, yes, I want one of those. So I'm excited about that. And we have two really amazing trainers to do that. And the reason that there are trainers tonight is because they have put a lot of Tower Gardens in a lot of people's homes, helped a lot of people. I just saw the cat tickle your chin. That was hilarious. Sorry about that. It was just rude. So they've really helped a lot of people become farmers. And I think that that's an incredible skill to have, and to be helping people create and be their own farmers when they get to not worry about food safety. Food safety does not become an issue anymore. Having to go to the store more trips than you want doesn't become an issue. So I'm pretty excited about this. I always want to learn how to get Tower Gardens into more homes. So Heidi, Fantastic Biggs, from the UK originally, now a US citizen, celebrated her first 4th of July last year with Chris and I. And she's a hairstylist, she's an artist, she's a singer, she's an amazing dancer, and she's really great with the Tower Garden. So Heidi, I'm turning this over to you.
Thank you, Nikki. What an introduction. My head should be like this big.
Wow.
But my hair is long instead. Well, I'm really, really excited that I get to be sharing tonight along with Kerrie Davis, my partner in crime. And we have had a lot of success with the Tower Gardens over the last few months, especially, as I know a lot of you have had. But we really wanted to share some of the tips and the tricks and the things that have been working for us. And we thought we'd come with the perspective of the who. So we do the who, the why, the how, and the when. And so we do have some slides that we want to share with you guys. So let me get started here. All right. Where's my play button? There we go. So here we are, how to grow your Juice Plus business with the Tower Garden. Well, it really does start with the who. And if you're taking notes, some of the things, people that you want to be reaching out to are just your regular, your Juice Plus customers, your Omega customers, anyone that's ordering complete, any people that you already have, any new prospects, anybody that you come across in the street, anybody that you talk to in the grocery store. One of my favorite places to be reaching out to people is when I'm at the nursery or I'm at the garden store, when I'm already purchasing plants for the house, or I'm, getting, I don't know, weed killer or whatever it is from my other areas in my garden and soil and stuff. But always be mindful of that 3-foot rule. I know a lot of you have heard about the 3-foot rule, and right now it's 6 feet, so I mean your hands at a distance, right? But it will get back to 3 foot at some point. And what that means is anybody within, right now, the 6-foot radius is somebody, it's an opportunity to be able to share the Tower Garden with. And so moving on, I know that Kerrie's having a lot of success with some things that she wants to share. So Kerrie is my partner in crime. She lives in Arizona. She recently got married last year, the year before actually now, to Clyde. And I know Kerrie's having amazing success with Tower Gardens as well. So Kerrie, I'm going to let you take over the next portion of this.
Thank you. So yeah, I'm really excited to share some of the things that we've been doing. So who do we talk to? Well, we always hear that we need to be the product of the product, but our customers need to be a product of the product as well. And so, checking, like Heidi said, checking your customers. They're on a trio, they're on an Omega, whatever they're on, talking to them about another way that they could introduce more plant-based food into their home, into their nutrition. So I always check in with all my customers. The other one is our existing Tower Garden customers. So I go back to all of my Tower Garden customers when it gets to be springtime. I'm asking them, what do you need? What accessories would you like? Would you like another tower? Now we have the home tower, which I like to grow inside. And the other area that I check in with is my canceled customers. And I also check old leads. And so, and we're going to talk about that. Heidi's going to talk about that in a second. But, Tower Gardens attract attention. And we attract people by sharing our excitement about our experience with the Tower Garden. And that's how that comes across to everyone that we're talking to. And if you have somebody on your team that's kind of a Tower Garden champion, that's going to be really helpful to your teams. And so I know that Heidi has actually had a festival down there where she lives. It's called the Avocado Festival. And Heidi, I want you to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I did a Tower Garden booth at an avocado festival, actually along with Nikki and Noelle and Julia Powell, and it was super successful, you guys. And it wasn't, not only was it really successful with getting Tower Gardens on our team, but also that the leads that we got from that Tower Garden booth, we all came away with a stack of leads of people to be talking to that we've been able to reach out, especially during this time. And one of the great things for me that I noticed is that when it came to the leads, not everybody, a lot of people had Tower Gardens already, but they didn't have anybody to turn to for support. They had nobody that they could call and say, I need new nutrients. And so they would just go to the Tower Garden website. So I was able to offer them that ability to have somebody have their own personal support person to go to when they needed nutrients or neti pots or more rock wool. And I've had probably at least 10 orders in the last 2 months for people wanting those extras. So when you have any kind of booth and you've got a ton of leads, they're people that you want to be reaching out to as well. And my go-to person when it comes to the Tower Garden and how they share on my team is Noelle. I got to give her a shout out because her live videos that she always does for the Tower Garden are amazing. So moving on, we're now going to be moving on to the why. Why do we really need to be sharing all the products? Why do we need to be sharing the Tower Garden along with the Juice Plus products, the complete, the bars, and the capsules? Because how else can you show a complete healthy lifestyle without growing your own food and getting all that extra nutrients in your body with that, and then painting the picture of the whole lifestyle? It's not about just taking the extra supplements. It's literally eating and being that person that they can go to see, like, okay, well, I want the capsules, but I want to grow my own food. I want to know what I'm putting in my body is quality produce. And so that's the reason why we all want to be the product of the product, so that we can show everything that we have to offer. Now, then we get to the how to show what we grow. Well, one of the ways to do that is by marketing, right? And we really need to be present with our marketing, and that we are the marketers. Like it's us. It is the products, it is the Tower Garden, but it's us that gets the power. We have the power in that marketing piece. My favorite place is to show what we grow is Instagram, it's Facebook. TikTok is underutilized by me right now, but we're going to show a little example of that later on in our presentation. But one of my favorite places to go to is because I've heard when it comes to sharing on social media that we really don't want to be splashing Juice Plus and the Tower Garden on our social media. And I don't want to dive too much into that, but that's where our stories get to be really powerful, you guys, because our stories, they disappear in 24 hours. And if there's one thing I've learned, people really are present and they love to see something that's quick and easy. And the stories are just exactly like that. So share on your profile by all means, but I would be sharing all of your Tower Garden videos, all of your Juice Plus stuff on your stories as well. Another thing that I know that Kerrie is really awesome with when it comes to, and Patty and Kirsten especially, is the watch parties that we have on Facebook. And what's so great about that is being able to market to a much bigger and wider audience. So not only are your people seeing your live video, but Kerrie and other people on your team can utilize that, share to their story, and you're getting a much broader audience, and more people are getting to know what we're all about. And in turn, you're getting more leads, right? Live garden events. Probably aren't having too many of those right now, but as soon as things get back to normal, having a little garden party in your backyard and showing how to put the nutrients in your Tower Garden and picking the lettuce right off and picking the tomatoes right off. What a great way to really show exactly how they work. And then we've got our three-way calls. Once someone's really all ready to learn more, utilize your upline, utilize your sponsor to get those three-way calls in. We have our YouTube videos to share. My favorite video on Vimeo of all time to share with my prospects is the one on the healthy living revolution. And the great thing is the link underneath, you just click on that, copy and paste it and send it to your prospect. It's not just talking about how the Tower Garden works, but there's a time lapse and there's people sharing their experience. So that to me is the most powerful video out there. And I know Kerrie's going to be sharing her favorite one in just a moment. So actually with that, Kerrie, I'm going to hand it over to you because I know that you have some thoughts around how you like to market the Tower Garden.
And can I ask
Right.
Heidi before
Yeah,
Kerrie starts? So my question is, I know you said the Healthy Living Revolution, but where on the Healthy Living Revolution do I find that video? Because I know it's like 3 videos in one, but there's not a section that says Tower Garden videos. Where am I going to find it?
Good question. So when you go to the Healthy Living Revolution, if you just scroll down, you'll see there is a line underneath Healthy Living, under the resources, you'll see it says Juice Plus. Then there's another one that says Juice Plus Complete. And then there's a little line, it just says Tower Garden. And underneath there is a URL, and you just literally click on that URL underneath, and it will just, you can copy and paste it right away. And I hope that's cool.
And it's not under the One Simple Change picture, it's just separate by itself as you scroll down.
Nope, thank you. It is under the One Simple Change picture, yes.
Okay, so you scroll down, you find the One Simple Change picture, and then underneath that, there will be something that says Tower Garden.
Absolutely. And if anybody would like me to, I'm happy to share it in the Voxer chat also.
Right.
Okay, Kerrie, I'm handing it over to you.
Okay. Well, I am really excited about the Tower Gardens, and I do a lot of Facebook Lives, but I also do a lot of photos. So I do a lot of photo sharing because people want to see when you first start out with the Tower Garden. They want to see it when you first plant it, then a week later, and then maybe 2 weeks later, or you're harvesting it 2 weeks. They really want to see that progression. And so keeping a lot of photos on your phone is really important because when you're out and about, as much as we can get out and about right now, it's really nice to have those in an album where you can just pull them up and then show people. My towers are out where everybody can see them. I have 1 inside and I have 2 outside. So we do a lot. I do a lot of Facebook Lives. And I typically try to do one every Saturday. It's designed just for Saturday mornings. People know I come on and I engage people. So some of you might have heard about that, might not know a lot about that, but I go out to different people that I've been shining on about Tower Gardens, and I make comments on a post that they have, and I'm liking things that they have. And so I'll do that for about 15 or 20 minutes before I do a live, because it makes everything come up into their feed. It gets spread out a lot further. And so pre-engage people before you go to do a Facebook Live. And if you have one that's static, like the same time or approximate time every single week, people start looking forward to that. So a lot of the things that I do is not just experience and what we love to do, but I'm trying to help them like figure out how to do their pH, so I'll show them that. I'll show them like, here's 3 ways you can grow your seedlings. You can get seedlings, you can grow them yourself. You can clean off with the dirt. You can, you can order your seedlings. And we're real lucky because we have True Garden right up the street. You can also do things like harvesting for your salad for your dinner, showing that, so they can see how it incorporates into everyday life. The other thing that's been really successful for me in the last couple of months is I've offered a $25 gift certificate to a seedling provider. And again, down here in Arizona, it's True Garden, but I have somebody that was way back east. They decided to use True Garden, but we could use other seedling providers as well. But if someone orders, I give them $25 to order seedlings. I know that the company does not like us to weigh, now that the freight's included, we can't weigh freight, but discount anything like that. But seedlings is a really great gift to give to somebody to get them started off really quick and right and not struggling with trying to grow their own seedlings. The other thing that I really try to take a look at every single month is what's happening this month. Is it Mother's Day? Is it Father's Day? Is it this month in June? It's National Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Month. Like, I will utilize whatever's out there to tie it into a nutritional piece for people. So that I'm really out there a lot. I also utilize, I'm going out to LinkedIn. Some of you are not on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn for me, because it has more professional people, and being in corporate, I have a lot of connections on LinkedIn. You can do videos on LinkedIn. You can search for people who love to garden on LinkedIn. So there's some search capability there. That is pretty awesome. The other thing that you can do is, now that we're still kind of quarantined, like we can get out a little bit, most of the networking groups are meeting online. And so I would really highly encourage you to just go out and try to find a networking group. Some of them have really dropped, and it's like $5 to attend or $10 to attend. They've really dropped their pricing. But what's really good is that because it's online and it's Zoom, now we're getting people, what I'm noticing is I'm getting people back east, I'm getting them in Florida, I'm getting them in Washington. So they're all converging into these networking groups because it's made it easier for people, and we're not having to travel to a restaurant locally, and we're getting more people from out of the area. So being able to utilize networking groups, and just go on and Google, there's a lot of great meetups that are doing it online. A lot of them have said that that's what they're going to stay doing, is online presence. And so that's another great way to reach out to a whole nother community. And I would really encourage you to have your tower garden visible if at all possible. It's incredible. I go out and I give mine a bath every single morning. I go out and I shower it down, and I'm always having at least 2 to 3 conversations a day with somebody that's walking by that just wants to know a little bit more about your tower garden. So it's pretty awesome. And so now we're going to kind of turn it over to the win. I think, sharing our story. So that's a big one. Share your story wherever you go. Then in the next one, I think, Heidi.
Yeah, before we, we talked about this, and I was a bit slow on the slides.
It's all right. There's also, are you going to talk about this with the Tower Talk and all of that?
Yeah. So some of the great places to and the things to share are our videos, our webinars. We talked about the watch parties. I do want to just share real quick. I did a live video with my husband, Lloyd. And what was really cool was being able to tag him in the video to get that extra wide audience from his friends. But then I shared it to another Tower Garden group. And then I looked the other day, just out of curiosity, and there were over 2,000 views on this one live video. So that just shows you, like, when you are sharing and you're tagging other people and you're sharing to other groups, people are looking, people are watching. So that was really fun to see that, I must say. And then, when we have our customers, we really want to make sure that they're getting the support. And so it's really important to send them to those great places on Facebook, like the Tower to Table Facebook group, so that they can see how other people are growing. They can see if anybody's having any issues with, bugs and aphids and, worms and all of that good stuff. And there is actually a unit section. I'm not sure if you guys knew that. But when you go to the Tower to Table, especially for our brand new growers, there's a units tab where if they go to the units, they get to see that, it's like a Tower Garden 101 kind of deal. So that's really fun. So then we go to the when. When is the time? How often do we want to be posting? So we want to be posting at least daily about something, right, within the Juice Plus, our Juice Plus realm. And like I said, the stories are a great place. But when it comes to live videos, specifically with the Tower Garden, at least once a week, you want to be doing a live video, especially showing, you know, an update. People want to see how your little babies are growing, right? Just like they're your kids. Like for me, they're like my kids. So they want an update. They want to see that little baby butternut squash that's growing bigger. They want to see your zucchini that's getting bigger. They want to see your peppers. They want to see how many more tomatoes you're picking every day. So really make sure that you're being consistent and that your presence on social media with the Tower Garden is known. You want people to know that you are the Tower Garden lady or guy. So Kerrie, I know that you're so awesome when it comes to social media and really utilizing what you're growing on your Tower Garden with your Take a Bite. Can you share a bit more about that?
Yeah, I'd love to. So before all of this came down and we were quarantined, I was going out every week and I was showcasing a restaurant. So I would go to the restaurant, I'd do a live Facebook event, and I would talk about the restaurant, how to eat healthy, what the restaurant provided, and if it was available, I could interview like the owner of the restaurant or the chef, and just feature them in this area that I live in. And it was just, people loved it. People were jumping on board. They were following me every Friday. And then all of a sudden, now I can't go to restaurants, right? So I decided to bring it in-house. So I do a Take a Bite every Friday. It's usually in the afternoon. And I usually put it like like I'm going to be going live at 2 or whatever. This Friday, I'm going to be showcasing a salad it's pretty awesome. And so what I try to do is I utilize the Tower Garden whenever possible in my recipes and complete. And it's interesting because I get a lot of people saying, what is that? What are you using? How do I get it? I didn't know you could just harvest off the tower. Does it regenerate? So it starts this curiosity, and it's amazing. So, you know, being able to bring it in-house and showing people exactly what I'm doing, and I'm actually making it, the whole recipe right there, people are really loving it. And so anytime you can do that, when you're making a shake and you go to your tower and you're going to pick that kale off and, you know, or whatever, or you take that lettuce and you eat it, like celery. Somebody the other day, like, picked the celery off and crunched it. Like, it's incredible. I know Nikki's done that, where you just crunch it and people hear that. Like, it builds a lot of curiosity. So, so definitely have something that's set, and people will start following you every week, and it's pretty amazing. You'll see what kind of activity you start to drum up. So Heidi, I think you are going to actually talk to a little bit about, our beautiful little video, TikTok.
So one thing that I wanted to share as we wrap this up is that, you know, learning from others, learning from other people that are sideline, that are on your own team, that are really having success. I know that we've had about 20 Tower Garden orders on our team in the last couple of months. It's been really fun to see, you know, all our customers growing, and I'm really encouraging them to share on social media as well. But just have fun, you guys. Like, I don't know anyone that doesn't find a Tower Garden fun. They really are just so amazing. And when we speak of the subject of fun, yep, it's my middle name, but we did want to end with something we found that is on TikTok. I don't know, those of you that are utilizing TikTok, it's a really, really fun social media platform. And we found this short video. I would love to see some of you guys going on TikTok and creating a video of your own, but we wanted to end with this really fun video.
That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. Bet the whole world over and says thank you very much. Okay, ladies, now let's get the information. Pop up, guess who, bitch? Pop up, guess who, bitch? Hips tick tock when I dance. Go right foot up, left foot slide, left foot. No masterpiece. 10 bad bitches and they
so that's what we got for you. I hope you guys got some good notes and found that really useful. We do have a couple of minutes left. Nikki, I don't know if you want to, if anybody has any questions that they have for Kerrie and I.
I definitely think we should open up for questions. If there's something that Kerrie or Heidi said that you want more an explanation about, or maybe even what happens when somebody asks you, gosh, it seems like it's really expensive. How do you deal with that? Like, how do you approach when you're talking to people? Because that's the biggest thing is, you know, they say, how much is it? So how do either one of you answer that question? How much is this?
Heidi, you want to go first?
Sure. Well, I always ask the question. So I'm curious, how much do you think you spend on, you know, like true, you know, being taught by Nikki, ask a question, right? So I would ask them. So I'm curious how much you spend on greens every single week. Would you say that you spend, you know, and let them tell me, of course. And if it's $15 or more, then it absolutely will make sense, because we know that between, you know, $56 and $70 a month or $80 a month, a towel garden can be in their home, and then it's paying them back for free. So that's how I approach it. Kerrie, do you have any other thoughts?
Yeah, I always break it down at asking them the questions, breaking it down to $15 to $20 a week. And if that seems too much, I even go down to, is it worth it for $2 a day? Can you know, if you're spending $2 a day, what are you going to go buy at the grocery store for $2 a day? And this will outperform that. And so people kind of get that. I know that Patty just asked what kind of small space I'm growing in. So when people say I don't have the space, I live in a fifth wheel, and I have my tower right here by my dining room table. So when they say I don't have room, I just turn my phone around and I say, do you have room like this? And they're like, oh, where do you live at? I said, I live in a fifth wheel. Like, they can't get any smaller than that. Like, you know. So yeah, so don't buy the I don't have room for it.
I thought also, Kerrie or Heidi, that you've asked questions like, I'm curious, during the week when you do buy your produce, does anybody ever throw out produce at the end of the week because it spoils and you didn't get to it? And how much do you think that, two things for me, I hate throwing food out. But second of all, it's like throwing money away. So with a tower garden, you pick it as you use it. So you're never throwing away rotten produce that you didn't get to during the week. So is there anything else like that that you can remind people of? Because everybody, I don't know anybody that doesn't throw produce away occasionally.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, Patty just said a good point about climates. You know, there are people out there that can't grow in the wintertime. And so where is their produce coming from? You know, that's another great conversation, especially like, you know, living in the colder climates like Canada or in the Midwest or on the East Coast in the wintertime. Like, where are they getting their lettuce from? It's probably been traveled halfway across the country. And especially now more than ever, people don't want very many hands on their produce, right? So,
I don't think people ever want hands on their produce.
No, but I think now more than ever.
So that's really the thing, is that if you think about, people like to spend money on things that have value for them. So when you're asking those questions, do you ever throw out your produce? What does your produce typically cost you in a week? Do you think you spend $2 a day on your produce to have a great salad? How do you like the idea of, just for me, I love that I am saving the planet. That's literally how I feel. It uses 98% less water and 90% less land, and the trucks don't have to bring it to me. I'm not creating more carbon monoxide in the air, and I'm not creating more packaging. That gets me personally excited. Like, I'm a good doer for the earth. And asking somebody, do they feel like being a good doer makes them feel good? How would that contribute to it as well?
Right.
Well, and I think for families as well, you know, when you start talking to families about their kids eating from the tower garden, kids love to eat what they grow. And it's really important, I think, for our kids to learn how to eat really good food. And so that's just another way, especially for your family starts, your healthy starts, is being able to go to them and say, hey, you know, I don't know if you've ever thought about this. And start talking to them about growing a tower, because they're obviously concerned about the kids' health, because they signed up so that the kids could get free juice class. So always going back to your customer base, because If we're going to be a product of the product, then our customers will be a product of the product. So not being afraid to go out there. And I think, I forgot who was talking one time in NMD about getting your customer genealogy and going through it and seeing like, oh, they're on a trio, but they're not on an omega. Oh, and they don't have a tower garden. Oh, those people have a tower garden, but they're not on a trio. Like being able to, see what your customers need and then opening up that conversation.
Great. Anybody else want to make any comment that works for them? Chris?
Well, I think you started down that path, and so did Heidi, about how much are you spending on your greens, and most people will break even after the first year. If you're spending over $15 a week, my phrase is it's not going to cost you anything. You'll break even, but for the rest of your life, it'll be free.
Mm-hmm.
Close to free, $5 a month or something at $100 a year. So just
right.
I wanted to throw that in, but can I also introduce the newest members of the Heat family here?
Sure.
I don't see Noelle. She might be here. But anyway, you see down here, Steve and Karen Boggs, please give us a wave.
Give us a wave, Steve and Karen. Yay.
All right. They came in under Noelle on Saturday, and they hit Partner Plus today. So congratulations to you guys. Glad you're here.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah, I do want to give Noelle a shout out. 2 Partner Pluses in 1 week. Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying. And I know that Taffy did ask real quick. She asked about the clips. So the little plastic clips, you can get them on your Tower Garden website. They're amazing, you guys. I love them so much, especially for your lettuce and your herbs. They just make, there's a little kind of like loop underneath where you put your finger in and you literally like lift it off up. The roots come out. So easy. Definitely worth purchasing those for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Great. So we're at our time limit here. Any last brilliant words, Kerrie or Heidi?
I say let's just share our Tower Gardens with passion like we do everything else. We share.
Yeah, and have some fun. Be bold and have some fun with it. And if you've not done a Facebook Live, Clyde just did his first one this week, and he already had some people commenting on it. So get out there and just do a Facebook Live. Just be bold and courageous, and just get that camera right in front of you and do it.
All right. Good night, everybody. We